China and Malaysia are now reviving a decades-old proposal to create an Asian monetary fund to reduce dependency on the U.S. dollar. But this isn't an isolated case. All of these countries are are also trying to loosen their dependency on the U.S. So how concerned should we be? Joining us now is the author of Currency Wars, The Making of the Next Global Crisis, Jim Rickards. Jim, welcome. Thank you for joining us. You know, I have a map here that shows countries that are looking at the U.S. dollar as not their way forward. Now, you're talking about the difference between a reserve currency and a payment currency, but here are those countries: China, Brazil, Argentina, Saudi Arabia. They have a lot of money. Russia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Chile, and the UAE. Tell me what your take is on this.
Well, first of all of those relationships you're looking at, and there's a long list of them, even some others, Saudi Arabia and China and so forth, they all involve the use of the dollar or not as a payment currency. And let's distinguish between that and a reserve currency. So payment currency is, I want to buy something from you, I tender some currency, it could be almost anything, you agree to accept it, you're confident you can give it to somebody else, you give me the goods, I give you the currency. That's a payment currency. And that's what all those deals are about. And it's a big deal. The dollar is being attacked from all sides. People are looking for substitute payment currencies. A reserve currency is a different thing. First of all, that's the savings account, if you will, of a country. Countries don't actually have the currency. It's not as if the People's Bank of China has a stack of $100 bills in the basement. What they do is they buy securities denominated in a currency, mostly denominated in dollars, mostly U.S. Treasury securities. So the key to being reserve currency is, do you have a bond market big enough, liquid enough, with dealers, underwriters, settlement, clearance, derivatives, futures, options, etc., all the things you need, and above all, the rule of law. Do you have that kind of bond market? When you ask that question, there are really only a couple of countries in the world, maybe Germany, Italy, Japan. They're all too small. The U.S. Treasury market, by far, is the only one that qualifies. So here's the issue. If you want to substitute a payment currency, the Saudis buy oil from China and they accept yuan. Russia buys manufactured goods from China and they accept the ruble, etc. That's actually easy to do. You can use baseball cards or bottle caps like we did when we were kids. It's just a way of keeping score, and that is a threat to the dollar. But the bigger threat is there a substitute reserve currency? The short answer is no in the short run. But going back at the keys, you need a rule of law. So the greatest enemy of the dollar as a reserve currency is not all those other countries. It's the U.S. Treasury. Because the U.S. Treasury has weaponized the dollar, frozen the reserves of the Central Bank of Russia, and other countries are looking around saying, hey, what if they don't like what I did? What if they don't like one of my policies? Are they going to freeze my reserves? There, if you say, I want to get out of the dollar as a reserve currency, the only really good alternative is gold.
Well, that was a long way to let me know that I need to learn more about how the U.S. dollar works. But at the end of the day, the strength of our dollar lies here in our country, and hopefully our government understands that, and we quit attacking it in the ways we have. Jim Rickards, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Rachel, over to you.
Just buy gold. That's what I
buy gold, yeah.
All right.